He betrayed me, humiliated me, and threw me away. But when he lost everything, I didn't even look back. The front door slammed open so hard it rattled the walls. I barely had time to react before my brother stormed into my apartment, his face twisted with disgust. My girlfriend froze beside me on the couch, eyes wide. He pointed straight at her. "Why are you even with him? He's weak. A loser. Ditch him tonight, and I'll show you what a real man is." Silence. Thick. Heavy. The kind that shatters everything. My blood ran cold. My girlfriend's jaw clenched. She stood up slowly, her expression unreadable. Then, she grabbed my stuff. My laptop, my jacket, my wallet, and threw it out the door. A cruel laugh ripped from my brother's throat. "Finally. Took you long enough to see it." I felt my world tilt. My vision blurred at the edges. She believed him. The one person I thought I could trust had just thrown me away like I was nothing. My brother clapped me on the shoulder, his voice dripping with mock sympathy. "Tough break, man. Guess she upgraded." And then, he left with her. My hands clenched into fists. My whole body trembled. I should have seen this coming. But I didn't. And now? Now I had nothing. But if my brother thought he had one, he had no idea what was coming next. I stood in the doorway, my heart pounding in my chest. The sound of their laughter echoed down the hallway. My girlfriend, no, my ex, walked away with my brother, not even sparing me a second glance. Like I didn't exist. Like I hadn't just given her years of my life. Like I wasn't the one who had trusted her. I clenched my fists, my breath shaky. My belongings lay scattered outside my door, my laptop, my jacket, my wallet. She hadn't just thrown me out. She had humiliated me. And my brother? He was the one who set it all in motion. I bent down, gathering my things with numb fingers. My head felt light, my chest tight. This wasn't happening. But it was. And the worst part? I had no idea why. I stepped back inside, locking the door behind me. The silence in my apartment was suffocating. Just minutes ago, I had been sitting with her, thinking everything was fine. Now I was alone. I sat on the floor, my mind racing. I wanted to scream, punch something, make them hurt the way I was hurting. But instead, I reached for my phone. I scrolled through my texts with her. Just yesterday, she had sent me "I love you." Just yesterday, we had made plans for the weekend. And now? She was gone. Because of him. I wasn't stupid. My brother had never liked me. He always acted like he was better, stronger, smarter. But I never thought he'd do this. I gritted my teeth, my grip tightening on my phone. He thought he won. He thought I'd just accept this. Take the hit. Move on. Disappear. But he had no idea what he had just done. And by the time I was finished, he was going to regret it. I sat on the floor of my apartment, staring at the door like I could burn a hole through it. My ex was gone. My brother had taken her. And they both thought I would just sit here and take it. Like I always had. I clenched my fists, my breathing slow and controlled. The rage inside me was like a fire, burning hotter with every second. But anger alone wasn't enough. If I wanted to win, I needed to be smarter. I unlocked my phone, my fingers steady as I scrolled through my messages. First step, find out how long this had been going on. I opened my ex's texts. Everything looked normal. No red flags. No signs of cheating. But I knew better. People like my brother? They didn't destroy you in one day. They worked in the shadows. They chipped away at you slowly, carefully, until there was nothing left. I needed proof. And I knew exactly where to look. I pulled up my brother's old social media posts. Most of them were just the usual. Gym selfies, parties, fake motivational quotes. But then I saw it. A photo from 2 weeks ago. Him. At a restaurant. His arms stretched across the table, holding a wine glass. And in the reflection of that glass, a familiar bracelet. My ex's bracelet. I felt my chest tighten. 2 weeks. They had been laughing behind my back for at least 2 weeks. I exhaled slowly, forcing myself to stay calm. They thought I was weak. They thought I wouldn't fight back. But they forgot something important. No one knows how to destroy you better than the person you betrayed. And I was about to make sure my brother never forgot it. I stared at the reflection in that wine glass, my mind racing. 2 weeks. For at least 2 weeks, my own brother had been sitting across from my girlfriend, smiling, laughing, drinking with her, while I had no idea. I gritted my teeth, my fingers tightening around my phone. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. This was about humiliation. They didn't just lie. They wanted me to look like a fool. I could almost hear my brother's voice, dripping with mock sympathy. Tough break, man. Guess she upgraded. I felt the heat rise in my chest, but I forced myself to stay calm. Anger wouldn't win this. Strategy would. I needed to hit him where it hurt. And I knew exactly where that was. My brother had one weakness. His image. He lived for attention. For admiration. He needed people to see him as powerful. In control. And most of all, he needed people to respect him. So what would happen if I made sure everyone knew the truth? That he wasn't some strong, successful guy. He was just a backstabbing coward? I smirked. Time to let the world see who he really was. I started with his friends. It didn't take long to find out he had been lying to them, too. He told one group I was the pathetic little brother who never left the house. Told another group he was helping me out financially because I couldn't keep a job. Lies. All of it. I sent a few messages, carefully worded, just enough to plant doubt. Just enough to make them start questioning. And once that seed was planted, I moved on to step 2. His job. My brother loved bragging about his career. How important he was. How connected he was. But what he didn't know. I had connections too. Not flashy, not loud, but real ones. And one of them worked at the same company. I reached out, casual at first, asking about how things were going over there. Then I asked the real question. Hey, is it true my brother's been using company money to impress girls? Silence. Then, what are you talking about? I sent the photo. The wine glass. The fancy restaurant. The receipt with the company card reflection. This wasn't just about betrayal anymore. Now it was war. The message sat on my screen. What are you talking about? I could almost feel the shift through the phone. The hesitation. The doubt. Good. I didn't respond right away. Let them sit with it. Let them start asking questions. Because once the questions started, the truth would follow. I leaned back, my mind racing. This was only the beginning. My brother had spent years building his reputation, at work, with his friends online. He needed people to see him as powerful, successful, in control. What happens when that illusion shatters? I was about to find out. The next morning, my phone buzzed. A new message. Same person. You sure about this? Because if it's true, he's screwed. I smirked. Oh, I was sure. I sent another picture. A different one this time. An old screenshot, my brother bragging about how easy it was to slip personal charges onto the company card. It had been a joke back then. He sent it in a group chat, laughing. As long as you keep it under $500, they don't even check. That joke was about to ruin his life. By noon, the cracks had started to form. A few of his coworkers had seen the messages. By evening, the whispers had started. And by the next day, his boss called him in. I wasn't there when it happened. But I can imagine the look on his face. The fake confidence. The excuses. The way he probably tried to laugh it off. But this time, no one was laughing with him. His boss didn't care about his charm. Didn't care about his excuses. Because stealing is stealing. And he got caught. Suspended. Pending investigation. And just like that, his perfect life started falling apart. And the best part? I didn't have to lift a finger. He did it to himself. I sat back, watching everything unfold from a distance. The moment my brother's suspension hit, the rumors spread like wildfire. No one trusted him anymore. Coworkers whispered behind his back. His friends started questioning if he was really as successful as he claimed. And the best part? I didn't have to say a word. The proof was already out there. The stolen company money. The bragging texts. The receipts that didn't add up. One by one, the people who worshipped him started turning away. And I knew exactly when it hit him. Because that night, my phone lit up with his name. Incoming call, my brother. I let it ring. Then again. And again. By the fifth missed call, a message popped up. I know it was you. I smirked. Oh, he finally figured it out? Took him long enough. But I wasn't done yet. Not even close. The next day, I got a text from a mutual friend. Someone who had always believed my brother's lies. Not anymore. Dude, is it true he stole from his own company? I just sent back a screenshot. No words, just proof. Their response came seconds later. Wow, what a fraud. The damage was done. And my brother? He was finally feeling the weight of what he had done. Because this wasn't just about money anymore. This was about his entire reputation. The image he spent years building? Gone. And he had no one to blame but himself. The messages kept coming. From his friends, from his coworkers, from people who once looked up to him. But now? Now they saw him for what he really was. A fraud, a liar, a man who thought he was untouchable until the truth caught up to him. I wasn't there when he walked into the office for the last time. But I heard what happened. His boss didn't yell, didn't make a scene, just handed him a termination letter and a box for his things. It was over. The job that made him feel powerful. The title he bragged about at every family event. Gone. And the moment it happened, he called me. I let it ring. Then a second call. A third. Voicemails started piling up. The first few? Pure rage. You think you're smart? You think you won? Then came the denial. You don't understand. This wasn't my fault. And finally, the panic. Please, just talk to me. I need help. Help. The same word I once said to him. The same word he laughed at before walking out with my girlfriend. Now, he was the one begging. I stared at my phone, his name flashing on the screen. And I smiled. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't have to answer. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Call after call. Voicemail after voicemail. He was desperate. The same brother who had humiliated me, stolen from me, and laughed in my face. Now he needed me. I let the phone ring. I wasn't going to pick up. Not yet. I wanted him to feel it. The silence. The helplessness. The realization that he wasn't in control anymore. Because for years, he made sure I felt small. Weak. Like I wasn't worth listening to. And now? He was the one screaming into the void. The next voicemail was different. His voice wasn't angry this time. It was shaking. I lost my job. My savings are gone. No one will talk to me. You have to help me. I have to? I let out a short laugh. Where was this energy when I was the one who needed help? Where was this concern when he was throwing me under the bus for his own amusement? The truth was, he never cared. He didn't want my forgiveness. He wanted an escape, and I wasn't giving him one. The next day, I got a text from our parents. They had ignored everything up until now. But now that their golden boy was crashing, suddenly, they wanted to talk. Family is family. He made a mistake, but he needs you. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed my reply. He made his choice. Now he gets to live with it. And for the first time in my life, I was finally free from him. The calls didn't stop. My brother wasn't just panicking, he was drowning. He had spent his whole life making sure people admired him, respected him, feared him. But now, he had nothing. No job. No money. No reputation. And the people who once worshipped him, they disappeared the second they realized he had nothing left to offer. I wasn't surprised. They weren't his friends. They were just like him, users. The next voicemail hit differently. His voice was hoarse. Tired. Defeated. I get it. I deserved this. I raised an eyebrow. For the first time in his life, he was admitting it. I was a terrible brother. I was cruel to you. I took everything I could and gave nothing back. I leaned back, listening. Was this real? Or was this just another game? I don't expect you to forgive me. I almost laughed. That was the first honest thing he had ever said. The next day, I heard from someone unexpected. His ex. Not mine, the one he stole. His. Turns out, She had left him, too. Because when the money dried up, so did her love. I couldn't lie. That part? That part felt really, really good. He betrayed me for her, and she walked away the second he wasn't useful anymore. I should have felt bad for him. But I didn't. Because now he knew what it felt like. To be thrown away. To be left behind. To realize that the people you trusted never really cared about you at all. The messages stopped. The calls went silent. And just like that, my brother was gone. Not literally. He was still out there somewhere, trying to rebuild whatever was left of his life. But to me, he didn't exist anymore. I had spent years being his shadow. The one he could mock, belittle, step over whenever it suited him. But the moment he needed saving, I wasn't there. And for the first time, he knew what it felt like to be ignored. A month passed before I heard anything about him. A friend mentioned he was working some low-paying job, barely getting by. The kind of job he once laughed at people for having. The expensive lifestyle? Gone. The fake friends? Gone. And me? I was thriving. Without him dragging me down, I finally started living my life the way I wanted. No more comparisons. No more insults. No more feeling like I wasn't enough. I had one. And the best part? I never had to take revenge. He did it to himself. One day, I ran into him by accident. A grocery store. His shoulders hunched, his clothes no longer designer, his usual arrogance completely gone. For the first time ever, he looked small. He saw me. And for a second, he opened his mouth like he was about to say something. An apology? A plea for help? I didn't care. I just looked at him. Then I walked past him. Didn't stop. Didn't say a word. Because he didn't deserve one. And that was the moment he finally realized. I was never coming back.